Hi guys, welcome back. So a quick England squad update this week. Week 3, there's a few guys dropping out. We'll talk about them. Plus I'm going to predict who I think is going to come in next week when the Sale and Saracens players become finally available. You might see behind me a bit of an update to the rugby art wall. Blair Skivington's been making this amazing original artwork for me for the World Cup, so the least I can do is mention it is in his Etsy shop now. We've got Freddie Stewart celebrating, Aaron Smith in hacker mode, Eben Etzebeth with his shirt ripped, and Augustine Creevy, well, he's just glowering, looking very menacing. So if you like that sort of stuff, have a look at that shop, link in the description. Now, ever since the England squad was announced, we've had some guys rehabbing their injuries in the England camp rather than with their clubs, which means they're definitely in contention. Billy Vunipola has actually undergone another operation, a small operation, but he should be available for selection if needed. But Chesham, Luke Cowan-Dickie, Ollie Lawrence and Jack Walker, they're still rehabbing in England camp, although they're not training, so they're not named in this squad. So getting into the squad, and one of the changes is at loose head, and it's Beno Abano, unfortunately, who drops out. I do like him. He's very strong, good scrummager, very strong in the carry close to the ruck for sure. He's explosive. Some of you guys questioned his cardiovascular fitness maybe, but he makes way, so it's down to 3. So Marla Genge and Rapava Ruskin. And to be honest, I'll be happy to stick at that for the World Cup. I really like that 3 because Marla's there, very reliable, great scrummager, maybe not the quickest anymore with experience. Ellis Genge, the pure explosion. Rapava Ruskin maybe somewhere in between, very explosive, a bit bigger. Mako, I'm pretty sure, is going to be coming in. Bevan Rod may be coming in. So is Abano making room for Mako? I don't know. Maybe he could have stayed in another week, but he's gone now. Hookers, as expected, no additions. Just Blamire and Dunn with Jack Walker rehabbing. Next week, I am certain Jamie George will come in. The only question really is, does Theo Dan, the young Saracen star, come in as well? That would really mix things up. I'd quite like to see it, actually. Maybe a final 3 of Blamire, George and Dan would be quite good. Or if Cowan-Dickie can get back from injury, he'd probably be in as well. Tighthead wise, they stick with the 4, which is interesting because Abano dropped out. I wondered if Joe Hayes might drop out, but they're staying at 4. Second row, and Charlie Ewels maintains his charm life. He's there with Ewels, Martin and Ribbons. Next week, surely we're going to see Atoje, and I think we'll see Ezekwe and Johnny Hill as well. I wonder if Ewels will stay there. That would make 6. Back row wise, they all stick, which is great. I wondered if 1 or 2 on the fringes might drop out. But next week, we're definitely going to see Tom Curry and hopefully Ben Earl as well. Surely they can't keep carrying all those back row, so maybe someone will drop out straight away next week or 2. That's going to be crunch time for the back row. I actually rate all these back row. It's a pretty strong position, I think, for England, actually. Scrum half-wise, we've got Danny Kerr, Mitchell, Van Portfleet and Youngs. That stays as it is, and it may well stay that way until the final cut to the squad. Gus Ware and Rafi Quirk have a good chance, or an outside chance maybe, of coming into the squad, but there could be no joiners, so this could be the bun fight for going into 3. No surprise, fly half stay the same. No one dropping out or coming in, of course. Marcus Smith and Finn Smith continue as the only 2 fly halves. And next week, that's going to be the crunch when definitely Owen Farrell will come in. And I'd be amazed if George Ford doesn't come in. Will Finn Smith drop out at that stage? I think that is possible. On to probably the weakest area for England at the moment, the centres. The youngster Will Joseph, we wondered if he would have carried on last week, and he did, but he does drop out this week, although it's not all bad news for him because he signed, of course, London Irish that's gone bust essentially, and he signed for Harlequins now, which is a fantastic signing because his type of game really suits Harlequins, that elusive running game. And with a Joe Marchant going to France, to Stade Francais, he's actually kind of a like-for-like replacement, just younger and less experienced. So great signing for Harlequins and Joseph. But yeah, it is a weak area, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Tuolangi coming in, certainly giving it a bit more power. Alex Lazowski is kind of a dark horse who I think could get in there, and they may consider Elliot Daly as a 13 rather than a back 3. So interesting times for the centres. It certainly is a bit of a light area for England, I believe. Back 3, and we don't see any cuts, which is a little bit of a surprise considering we've seen other cuts. Johnny May continues, Thokanasiga continues. Those are the 2 closest to the cut, I think. but with Malins coming in and maybe Daly coming in if he's not considered as a centre, we will see a couple of cuts. And very interesting to see if we get a couple of bolters, Joe Carpenter of Sale at fullback and Tom Roebuck, the big wing. They could be coming in. So interesting times for quite an inexperienced lineup in the back three. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the England squad. Are they the right cuts and who's going to come in next week? All the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.